Niche down. The riches are in the niches. How many times have you heard that advice? It's really popular advice right now, and it's honestly really wrong for the future. This advice works up to a certain point, but is that even what you really want? And is it sustainable long term? You don't have to be just one thing. It also doesn't make sense logically. As a human, you're not just one thing. You're many things, and that's what makes you unique. So why would it be any different for your business or your life's work? It would be the same thing. It has to be something that's uniquely you. I believe that this advice of riches in the niches or really niching down to one thing are going to eventually go the same way as the advice of get a college education so you can get a good job. This is the advice that our parents, our grandparents were raised on. And I think the same thing is happening right now, is that in the future, and the pretty close future, we're going to be saying that that's old advice, saying that we have to niche down. And it's not unique anymore. There was a time when saying getting a niche and doing one niche was unique advice, when it was still pretty new. But like anything that gets overused and gets saturated, it's something that's old advice now. It's not unique anymore. It doesn't help. There's actually more competition in each one of these niches individually now. And what happens when there's a lot of people in something? Well, at some point, if you're all doing the exact same thing and there's nothing unique about it except that you're all delivering this one niche service, at some point you'll start competing on price, and that'll drive prices down eventually. So what is the thing that sticks out if you don't want to just lower your prices and you don't want to compete on price and you don't want to worry about competitors? It's you. You're the one that's unique. Your various interests, your personality, what you like, what you don't like, your viewpoint on the world, all of that is unique and is something that no one can replicate, because no one can replicate your experiences and your memories. And that's why all businesses, entrepreneurs, solo businesses, artists, they're all gonna have to adjust to this and all do more of what makes them unique and makes them different than everyone else doing a similar thing. And this will all in one way melt together in self-development. So I think the way it's heading is that business, entrepreneurship, artists, everything is heading more and more towards having to develop yourself more, which is a great thing, because you'll be able to use everything that you're learning about yourself, if that's through courses, through experiences, through therapy, through coaching, whatever it is, you'll be able to use that, and that'll all add to your business. So your self-development will be intertwined with whatever you're doing for work. This is a really good thing and should get you excited, because it's a much more fun way of doing business than doing one niche. I've rarely ever met someone that literally loves the idea of doing one thing, one niche the rest of their life. That doesn't work that way, because your interests change, what you like changes. So what are you supposed to do when that changes? Just grind through and basically you've created a new 9-to-5 job. That's what happens with a lot of people that specifically work in one niche and stay in one niche. Eventually it becomes boring, doesn't excite them anymore, but they're stuck because their whole client base is this one niche. So now you can't do anything else because you've made yourself this. So if you go something else, it won't be accepted. So the way to get over that is to start already with being nicheless. That would make you irreplaceable and would make it that you're never competing with anyone. And businesses like this are already becoming very unique, the few that are doing it. If we're thinking about art, for example, we can think of A24, who is in an industry that it's really hard to make money in, where a lot of movies lose a lot of money. A24 consistently is a success, and they're doing it differently than others are doing it. They're not trying to do one niche. They're not trying to do one way of doing it, like all the other older systems are doing it. They don't even really conform to one genre many times. A lot of their movies, they put different genres together that you couldn't even say what it is. Everything, Everywhere, All at Once, if you guys know that movie, it'd be tough to name one genre. Yeah, it's a sci-fi, yes, it's drama, it has some thriller elements, has action with kung fu and everything. So it's like, what genre is it? They've in their way become nicheless. It's just a very unique system and movie, and they've openly stated that they want creators or directors that put their own unique vision in. They don't want to interfere as little as possible. So what they're really saying is, we want what's uniquely you, and we want you to put your stamp on it. Do what is uniquely you, that can't be replicated. And that's why they've had this success, why everyone wants to see an A24 movie and why everyone knows what an A24 movie is. There's really not a formula for it, because if there was, then other studios would have copied them, and even if some have tried, they haven't. There isn't still an other A24, because they found what's unique on them, and it's unique on every creative that they hire. That's really what their strength is letting their creatives be creative. So if you want a unique business, then share what makes you unique. Start sharing that in everything that you're doing, your business, in your content, in your writing, everything. Share what you like, what you spend time on, what you read, what you watch, what interests you, basically. It's going to be a way more fun way to do business and do anything, and more sustainable, and you won't be competing on price or with competitors, because you can't be replicated. And that's really what people want anyway. If you think about it, people don't want to follow some robot or work with some robot. They want to work with other people that they find interesting, and what's interesting is someone that has multiple interests, not someone that likes one thing and talks about one thing. That's extremely boring, right? So what they really want is to see you be that. So, and if you think about the biggest brands that are successful, it's not the brands that are that followed. Like if we think about, let's say, Virgin, it's one of the biggest brands in the whole world. They're in every industry. Yet Virgin on social media has way less followers than Richard Branson does, because Richard Branson is an individual, is unique. People want to follow another person, and a person that has different viewpoints, different interests, and he does that. It's really hard to pin down exactly what he does and what he likes, but he's one of the most followed entrepreneurs that there is. And if you're making art, like in my case, movies, and this is the best advice that you can take, is don't try to make what you think the market wants or what's hot in the market right now. That's always a losing formula. Make what you want to tell. What story do you want to tell? What's unique on your viewpoint of this story? And make that regardless of what the market's like, regardless of what you think people want. That's always going to be unique. And if you create something different and unique, then you have a much higher chance of it being successful, at being something other people are interested in. And that's what people actually want. I hope that helped, and I look forward to hearing what you guys think, and I'll see you guys next week.